Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Cube 2, Q-U-B-E 2. Let's continue. So, we are now being talked to by the facility, the computer itself. Apparently mankind fell and we're on Earth. I don't know if the facility intentionally or accidentally assimilated all of mankind's minds and memories and personalities possibly, or if that's what it was supposed to do. We just came through this door, so we are having an issue where we do like 3 or 4 puzzles before we get any story or dialogue. It's a little short in the it's a little brief, and as far as what it's saying, there could be more casual conversations thrown around or just side comments. The computer claims to be innocent.
The truth is in this information. Expose as we die.
What truth? What are you?
Activate each room and I will share a memory with you. Through this you shall understand.
So
I deserve to know what you've done.
this would have been better as a cutscene. Again, a lot of these, if they had just taken the camera away from me and had me walk up to look at one of these reactors and assume that that's what I'm talking to, that would have been nice. So we need 4 puzzles again solved. They've introduced fire as an element. So, are we gonna go Earth, Water, Heart, and do the full Captain Planet setup? Probably not. But I wouldn't be surprised if there is a water element. Fire and water makes sense. Alright, so first part of this is going to revolve around getting the blue switch. It seems to be pretty consistent here. Get the blue switch activated so that it pours out oil, so then I can then use a red piece to push it along the path. When it's sliding around the path, I can start the oil on fire, potentially set the oil on fire again if necessary, and then have like a blue spot that direction. And then we've got to shoot it upward and start another thing. And there's enough height to just get that ledge, and I think that's what I'm supposed to do. It does feel like this game is pushing us to start breaking the linear right angle thinking concepts a little bit. Right. So that's on fire again. So what we need this to do now is go back here, bring out another one, and slide that one that direction. So because the oil only lasts so long, and then get that third part unlocked. And then just delete that. Turn off the fire. I've yet to be able to set myself up on fire with the flaming oil, but I can put blue under that.
We began learning like you many millennia ago. Our planet, our cells, our solar system, our universe. We learned of them all. We were consumed by knowledge.
So a pure desire to learn more and more potentially has caused them to go to extremes. I'm glad none of these puzzles so far have had an elevator in it. I don't know why there were elevators in the first section. Almost like that first section was a demo that was released earlier. Maybe it was. Or maybe it was a vertical slice that was shown earlier and not as well programmed. So we're just going to get small sentences of conversation. And if I was writing the game like that, I would have everything that the computer says that's important restated at the end and given new meaning, if that's a possibility. That one over there. Fire over here. Okay, we need to get this coated in oil first. Which means I needed to have put a red piece here. Let's try that again. I have to kind of remember what I learned in the last area about the preserving or the non-preservation of momentum. Alright. So that's oily. But that didn't help with anything. Because if I stick this here and start that on fire, and then there's another switch over here. Alright. Okay. I think I've got this idea. I need this coated in oil first. I need this blue one switch to a red one. I need this one here. Switch to that. I need to then change this to blue to get to that point. Alright, then I need to put red back down here and start that getting oiled. Okay. And so my hope is that I can start this on fire with this. Once that's on fire, that should be fine. Change this so the other thing starts on fire and slides backwards, because it's both on fire and oily. And that was the solution. Nice. These puzzles are getting a little bit more complicated, but not crazy complicated, so I'm still enjoying myself quite a bit on this. A lot better than even the first game, by quite a bit.
Each space, each room is part of us. We structure each one and make this information whole.
I think I understand. The structure of these rooms. They determine the form of the memory. These rooms are a language, a code for information. That explains how we powered the lift.
I don't understand. So, in some weird way, the layout of the rooms are like a symbol or a code that is then converted into a form of energy or an access key that is processed through these generators. That is wild. That is a wild concept. I would venture to go as far as to call it a hogwash concept too. It's kind of ridiculous. I think what they were trying to say, and they've just written it very poorly here, and maybe English isn't their first language, is that with each room and more power, I can access more of my memories. That would make a lot more sense. And solving these puzzles solves that. I don't know what you accomplish any other way if that isn't the case. Alright. This could be knocked with this. A lot of these, you don't even get a good look of the puzzle room before you've half solved them. Right. So oops. Well, eventually that will just slide back that direction, I'm pretty sure. So we can leave it there. We hit the one-time blue switch, which has stayed consistent. And that just gets us into another area. So you've basically got 2 puzzles here, or maybe even 3. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is just supposed to slide that direction. And then we pull that way. Will it go up that little hill? No, it won't. But then it will. On the second one. Problem though. How am I supposed to get over there? I was supposed to be on top of that. So I'm supposed to just find this. I screwed it up. Try again. Okay. We'll just take the full ride. Yeah, you really do have plenty of time. We can even turn around, which is a rarity in these cases. And that activated a ramp, which, I mean, this cube will, ever so slowly, I think, bounce down there, but I don't think that's going to do anything. Alright. We have a green cube that we can get oily. And then just kind of have to get it in the right position, I think. Oil it up. I would say this oil mechanic probably needs to go away pretty quickly. I don't want to be in a major next section trying to deal with that. Okay, I guess I'm okay to do this, and as long as I'm over on top of this when this happens. No. What's the part I missed? Oh, here's a permanent way up. I guess that helps a little bit. I don't have a blue or anything. I don't think we're going up any higher. So I think what we've got to do is we've got to preserve momentum on this one. So I have to oil this up. Put this here. Jump on this first. And we're just going for a wild ride. No, not quite that. But almost. This will take a couple tries. So yeah, I'm running into, now that we're in the second half of the game, we're running into actual challenge. Right. Oil up. Should be good. Stand on this. Fling that. Get stuck here. Now this should work. Again, we just have to look behind us. So you can't see it. And that's not like an option that I turned off or anything. Accessibility. Jump assist was off. Auto turn when launched is on. That has been on this whole time. The other thing is music. It seems like there's been basically no music. So I don't know if the music engine crashed at some point, or if you're not supposed to hear anything really anyways.
We grew together. Love and happiness entwined with information of the universe.
One more to go.
Interesting. It's very interesting to have a computer talk about love and happiness. These would be things that usually you would expect a computer to not understand at all. It's very questionable whether if you did connect humans together in some kind of matrix-like configuration where everybody was a hive mind, that would create love and happiness, or it may just have a bunch of people miserable, a bunch of noise, very possibly too. Right, well, start with green and go with a blue. Let's see. Right, that won't work. I need to be able to what if we were to instead put the green here and a red here, just to move that in that direction. That's not tall enough. What if we were to put a red here and a green there, move that in that direction? That is tall enough. So we have to position ourselves in the right place most often before we have to do anything else. I'm gonna put that there. We can see if that actually works. It doesn't. Didn't think it would. But I don't think this is going to work either. What we're going to have to do is then switch it. So this rolls back, then it hits the blue one. And then the music cuts in for a second, and then it goes away. And that sounds more like a sound effect than the actual background music. So I guess maybe what I should do is, let's say audio, music volume 90, go back, apply, applied, and then audio, music volume 100, go back and apply, and see if that might kickstart any music in the background. I don't know though. It's very possible that this is just the intentional amount of music that should be playing. Okay. So where I'm standing now, I don't think I need to do anything more because I think this will just burn forever. So we just need this to get oil slicked, pulled by the red one, then we'll move that out of the way, and then we'll move this in the way, and then now we should have a flame of fire, and all this has to do is go that direction and hit the wall. That looked like you kind of barely made it there. And it was almost to the point where it would have burnt off all of the oil.
We became one. There is no deceit. There is no war. We sought to share, to help other worlds enlighten them.
You were once like us.
We were. Return to where you belong. There is more that you must know.
There's a decent chance though that the price for unifying all of life in a hive mind is that you have to constantly move out, seek more resources, seek more power, just to keep everything alive. And eventually, I suppose, the heat death of the universe happens, and then you die anyways. But yeah, I guess there's also always a problem with an idea like this, is not only are you bringing in the knowledge of humans, you're either also bringing in the knowledge of other animals, or you're killing all the animals or just letting them all die out. Because I haven't seen any animals. I feel like a lot of puzzle games could use birds in their game. Just put birds or butterflies or something.
That teleporter that I've started to power.
It is the way in which you shall return. It requires more energy. You have shown trust, and in return so will we. Go forth, rebuild and learn.
So this really feels like we will get some other ability. Is there a reason to go back this direction though? Because it said go back to where you woke. Nope, there's just a wall there, so you can't do anything there with that. This might be a shorter experience, or it might be a case that we get teleported to yet another area, although I don't know what the other areas could be. Just teleporting to other trees and other puzzle sections. You can kind of, with the teleporters or with the elevators or anything, just have us go in any direction. this wall back here feels like it's probably going to open up. And we may get the voice of the other lady. At some point she may come back into this. Is this really a load though? I think it is. There's clearly better ways you could be like constantly loading, because you could in the main room have enough load sections. Memories are gone.
Let's do this.
In the main section you could have these sections loaded, and by the time you walk from this door to that door you could have all of these puzzles loaded and unloaded the main section. That's ideally what you would want to have happen. So how many do we need to do? 1, 2, 3, 4. It seems another 4, but then you have to activate everything and learn the new concept, and I bet the new concept is not gonna just be oil and fire based. We haven't seen anything that's a direct laser puzzle yet. That feels like something that could be introduced. Alright, so we've got something that rolls a ball down, and this is just a black sphere. We've seen these spheres before, and before we could just clip into them and we couldn't really push them or anything. This feels like we may be influencing it slightly, but not really. Like, feels like you could just ever so slightly, if you just push on it, you can get it to go away in a direction, but it otherwise seems to be incredibly heavy. But that is way better than what we had before. So you have the timer on that to make sure you reach your goal. You reach the elevator. And let's see, if I spit one out here and I spit one out there, it's the same. Yep. And they're just trying to get us back to basics in some of these puzzles. This is really good design, yeah, because it's reminding us of something that we haven't done in a couple of hours, that we might need to use again, or maybe we will never use it again, but it still is reminding us that, hey, this game had this element, and this element was cool. Alright, and so we're going to roll balls, it seems. Okay. I guess I can't solve this puzzle until I can look all the way around. So I use that to bump that, to bump that. Use that to... Well... Actually, that just worked fine. This will be an interesting test to see if it bumps into me and that becomes a problem. Apparently not. They made the hallway small enough so that I couldn't get in the way. we may run into some small problems, but I doubt we even run into any at all with the spheres bumping into us. So, with the exception of the yellow bricks and the purple walls that rotated in a sphere or a cube, we've seen everything in the previous game done way better. So it's very applaudable. It's just kind of also a little weird. Like, I imagine particularly indie devs right nowadays are not super happy with all the competition on Steam. There's just a lot of games out there. A lot of them are bad. Steam is not a advertiser, and a lot of indie devs think they are. They think if you pay the $100 Steam Direct fee that Steam is then going to put you on the front page. That's not really what's going to happen. It might put you on the front page if your game somehow explains itself to be worthy of the front page, or if it is selling like hotcakes, and like Steam has an algorithm just like YouTube has an algorithm, so those algorithms may get tweaked here and there. So yeah, a lot of indie devs don't feel like they're making as much money as they used to, and I wouldn't be surprised if Toxic Games just could not afford to continue making this into a trilogy. Also, I think starting off with the trilogy is kind of iffy. I would have probably suggested Toxic Games to have made something completely different from Q.U.B.E. in between, some experimental side project. Maybe if you had enough profit. I'm trying to see if this cube actually slides at all when I push on it. It doesn't seem like it does. Yeah, maybe if you had enough profit from Q.U.B.E, you would hire a second team, split your efforts in two, create something that is very different from that game, and then hopefully maybe it is to the point where indie devs do need to make 2 or 3 indie successes before they can even start to think about being successful enough to go back on one of those indie successes and make a sequel. But they struck when the iron is hot, and they did a really good improvement here. But it's still a puzzle game. And right now I'm going to admit I don't know the answer to this puzzle, and it has been 30 minutes. So, yeah. Making 3D platforming puzzle games, probably a bad move for capitalism. A good move, I would say, for creativity and such, but it is kind of a niche. And it's not a niche where you can really overcharge that much. I think maybe Jonathan Blow was right when he charged like $40 for The Witness, but in a weird way that also stopped a lot of people from playing his game. Even now, The Witness on Steam has never been below $10, although it's been free on several other stores. So yeah, that's weird. I guess also if this had come to consoles, I'm pretty sure Q.U.B.E. and Q.U.B.E. didn't. You might have gotten some more sales from that. But it also could be that there was an internal problem not having anything to do with financing that stopped Toxic Games from making games. It's also possible that just people burnt out. Anyways, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wish list, or you can click on the link down below to Patreon. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.